Okay, so today this is just going to be a short one. I want to show a little bit about how to do custom brushes in Max Easy Terrain. So what I've got here is I've just zoomed in here, right click. My dogs are barking outside. You can probably hear them and maybe the pellet's still going. But I just fired up a new area and I've just got this little plateau area I built up on the island here. Nuked all the trees off of it and just turned it into just a spot to work with. So now what I've done is I've gone over to, let me just open this up here, Max Easy Terrain, right here. And I'm just going to open this up to show you. I thought I was going to open and show you. There we go. I've just drawn a squiggle, so like a rudimentary cave wall or a bedroom or something. Just a basically just an example, so that you can make like a badland or something, or a hollow or whatever. So it's just black on white, and it is. I just saved it in a JPEG format. So now all I do, sorry, just closing that down, is I come here to terrain, and then your normal brush here will raise and lower the land as you need, right? And you work with that, and then there's some trees that are going to start to populate. And I'll let a couple come in here just so that we can get us a little looky at the scale comparison here. There we go. Then I'm just going to smooth this little hump out here. Just smooth this a little bit so we got something good to work with. Cool. So now I come down here to this brush. And this is the custom brush loaded. So you click on it. You choose the JPEG that's a black and white, which represents a height map, right? And then you can choose, with that selected, to raise or lower, do whatever you want. I'm going to choose to lower. And I don't want to be that small, but I'm going to do one here just to demonstrate that small. And then we got a little wall there built in with that stamp shape. So what I want to do though is I want to make it a bit bigger. I want to make it more like a badland here. So I'm just going to stamp it here, lower that down. Make that pretty steep. There we go. So that's nice and steep. Then I'm just going to come back out of that. Oh, I don't want to open it. Sorry, exit. Back to my normal brush. Away from the square shape, back to my circle again. I'm going to make it a little smaller. And I just want to blend here, or actually I'm going to go lower. Sorry, paintbrush, lower. And I'm just going to go here, lower this down a bit. There we go. And then I'm just going to, I'll leave that one up. I just want to hit the blend here. Blend that a little bit there. Then I want to come along here. I just want to blend this in, smooth this edge because then the other edge isn't. Now I want to be able to cross over here, so I think what I'm going to do is go back into lower, make the radius of this smaller, and I'm just going to carve this through here so that this serpentine mound is nice and easy. Then we're just going to smooth all that out. That should be fine. We should be able to walk over that. Okay, so now with that area made, all I want to do now is just zoom in to take a look at it, make sure that it's going to work for me. Sure, that'll work. We'll just run over top of that, and then we can get up on the mound too. Got all my grass on here. I think what I want to do is delete the grass on this area though. So I'm going to come over here to grass, and I'm just going to hit my delete button, and I'm going to go a little bigger on the radius. That might be a lot bigger on the radius. Let's go here. Sure, that's good. I'm just going to delete this off of here. I don't need grass on this slope. I just want to clean this area up. And leave grass on the outside edge. And I'm just going to remove grass. Shrink that down a bit more. Just from there as well. And then that way we can see just both an engine. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to terrain. And what I want to do is I just want to export this. And I'm going to export this in a Game Guru Max map. And I want to go documents. Where's my Game Guru Max folder? Game Guru apps. Game Guru Max. Files. And where was it? Map Bank? Map Bank. And we'll save it here, and we're going to call it Custom Brush. Perfect. Save that out as a standard FPM, and we're good to go. So now I'm just going to close that down. Open Game Guru Max. There we go. Open Test Island. Edit Game. Alright, so then that's Singing Island 2. So now what I want to do is I want to add existing level. It's going to bring me to the browser, and I'm going to look for Custom Brush FPM and open that. Perfect. Then I'm going to go to edit that level. So now I'm going to put my starter spot. Sorry, let me just go to starter spot. And I'm going to just drop it here on the beach. And I want to go customized. I'm just going to give it something for so you can see it moving around. We'll just give it, sure, Aztec Axe, that's fine. Perfect. Alright, and now I want to test this out so we can see how those custom brushes worked. So there's my Aztec Axe. We're on the slope. There's the trees, the ocean. We can kind of see what's going on. And we're going to run up here. And this is the little one. So you can see how that's carved out this little terrain area. And can I walk on it? It's probably just a bit too small, but yeah, I'm in the bottom. And you can see it's kind of grooved out. So if you're doing a dungeon, you could totally use this technique. You'd probably want to go a little bigger or make your curves bigger, whatever. You'd want to plan it for that use. But you could totally do a dungeon with this. And then your ground, you would paint your ground differently. Jump up there, and then I'm out of there. So you can see, and then I'll just come on the top here for a little bit. You can see how that you could do some really neat land structures and things like that. They would be a little harder to carve normally, and so using custom brushes, you could do a lot of work in a short time. And it's pretty easy to open a paint editor, do black and white line art, and then export that as a JPEG and import it as a brush, scale it to size, and paint with it, right? And if you line up properly, like so, if I have this end perfectly centered and that end perfectly centered, in theory, you could just stamp, 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 and make this big winding snake road as long as you would need it, right? So you could just plan them properly. So now we're going to come over here where we got the big one. And so I'm just going to go into the trenches here. I'll go right into the middle here. And you can see where those walls are tall, and you've got like badland canyons, right? So that was kind of the idea I was going for. So sort of badland canyons. Now here's where I didn't clear that edge out where the square edge of the stamp was from the outside of the image, but I mean, again, you like I did over here, you just soften that down, do whatever you want and transition it. Or you could have this as just a giant cave again, right? Like if I come over here to the solid wall, just run over there, got a little hole there. You can see how this could be. You put a big rock on top of that, which I could do in a minute here. And you've got a big cave area to explore. Now I'm going to go up top here, on top of the Badlands, and now you could see where you've got this big winding, like I said, snake road, right? And so you're wandering along this ridge, and you've got a whole lot going on. So I'm going to escape out of there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to objects. And I'm going to add an object. And I want to add an awning. I want to add, if I got any bit of rocks or anything, what have I got? Industrial sewer pack. Let's go to, what have I got in industrial sewer pack? I should have just a big concrete block here somewhere. Oh, I know. I think the basement pack will have something. Let me look. Basement collection floor. There we go. Smooth concrete floor, solid wall mass, rough concrete floor. There we go. We're going to add that. And we're going to put that here. And we're going to go to positioning and scaling. We're going to move it up. And then we're going to go scale. X. So there, that scale up as big as it'll go. That's fine. I'll move it up a bit more here. And I'm going to move that into position this way. Move it up a bit more. Actually, you know where I want to put it? I want to put it over here. No. Fine, right there. Bang. There we go. Now I want to go. How do I copy that again? I forget how to just copy that. Control maybe? No. Shift. Yeah, we'll just, where is it? Select it, right click. I want to group it. I know there's a way to copy it, but whatever, I just got another one. Bang. Scale. Move it up. Move it over. Zoom in to get that lined up. That'll do. That's good enough for the demo. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run in there. First I'll run on top of it, just make sure that it's at least sort of lined up before we go under it. Yeah, sort of lined up, I guess. There, I'm on it. So now we got this concrete floor. Okay, cool. There's the ground. So now what I'm going to do is just drop in here. Probably hurt myself a bit. Yeah. But when I'm underneath it now, you can see that it's now a ceiling above me, and we've got kind of a dungeon-esque thing going. Of course, there's absolutely like zero work put into that, But you can see how using things like that, and if I put another one down below me, escape, let's do another one. And we're going to scale that up. Perfect. Right there. And then let's just move, select that. Move it down a bit. Select that. Move it down a bit. Move it this way. Zoom over it and just move it out to about the same. There we go. Good enough. Okay. Now we're going to test that again real quick and just show you with just like 2 seconds extra work there. Just jaunt over to there. Yep, hurt myself. But now, in theory, here we are underneath it, and we've put in a floor, we got our walls, and we got our ceiling. So you can see how easy you could make an actual cave, dungeon, labyrinth, whatever you want to make with that. So, and then you, of course, have your badlands, and you could do your snake roads, and of course, you've got all sorts of terrains and textures. I could just imagine the kind of ice labyrinths you could make at like the top of mountains and things. So, custom brushes are pretty awesome. So there's lots you can do. But anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that, and have a great night, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.